Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this series in which this is Khosrow the Stumbler, in which he stumbled himself into the beginning of his rule after Tarkhun, the great warrior that passed away of natural causes. But now, when we say great warrior, we don't mean like greatest everything martial-wise, but he was a gallant and blade master and played a key role in bringing this realm together. But soon, we will have to restart retaking some of the lands that we used to own. And also, I have come up with a somewhat of a pretty stupid idea. A stupid idea in a long run, which would also be concurrent with the conquest of Alexandria, so and all that. But remember, in the future, we will get Alexandria, which is going to have to cost a lot of prestige for this. Actually, I will get them all. And the mosques, too. Okay. But the problem is, he's got an ally, and I have none. And economically, we cannot support an offensive. And at the same time, I wish to be pious. And also, I've thought about go undertake the Hajj. It's 125. It's a very long pilgrimage to Mecca, but there's a lot of piety to go along with it. And you know, my brother over there, who is my friend, but I cannot murder him. Well, actually, there is a chance to murder him, because there is a chance that he may discover this. He's rather deceitful and all that. But we do have one predicted agent in here. Anakin. Who's a steward. Perhaps there is a chance, and it can be improved upon. Because I was about to say, well, what if we just took this without a fight? Would I be willing to kill my brother and friend? But please remember, it's not criminal, but it is a sin to kill your brother. But that's only if no one finds out about this. But there's a chance he may discover this. So, but again, I could also, the alternative thing is declare a war and get Tripolitania, just the title of it, but not the lands. But I would love to have it for myself. And taking it without a fight seems to be a preferable option. So, let's try attempt to murder first, while I go on a Hajj. Now I'm going to need your help to support this scheme. But can I really trust you? We hope so. It's only 49, but there is room for improvement. I mean, there's one. The antiquarian. How much do I have to pay? And they say it may take about 4 years. And he's the only one that can be convinced. You know, I've noticed that, you know, we tried to invite him to apply, but I noticed it's pretty close, actually. What if we just sway him instead? Just go to the Hajj anyways. Go undertake it. Time's come for me to undertake the pilgrimage to Mecca. It has been commanded of me, as it has for all Muslims, to show my submission to Allah. You're never too young, never too old to undertake this. So I have waited for my entire life. We are going over there. Glad it's held. At the start of the game it was held by a Shia Muslim, but it's held by it, so therefore night effectiveness up for all of us. As I prepare for my journey, I know that I will travel safely under the protection of Allah. My destination lies far from home, but in service to heaven, even my own realm must wait. It is time to depart. Whatever troubles that may happen to me that affects my health, I'll be alright. So the timing is good. And at the same time, we're also fabricating the claim for the counties that we used to hold, my grandfather used to hold, but now we want that back. So we can revoke it without tyranny. For every week that passes, my fellowship grows ever smaller. Some have gone as far as they can before the need to return home overtakes them. Others have met of less fortunate ends. Most worrying is the fact that my group of personal guards is staying out at an alarming rate. This fact alone shows what a treacherous journey can be. Well, I'm not going to be the kind of guy who leads in the front lines. All I need is the protection of Allah. That's what I believe. But beware, your level in intrigue will go down while you are planning on killing your brother. As I near Mecca, I find myself now standing before the Miqat, a boundary between the sacred spaces of Mecca and the outside world. From this point on, I must enter the state of undergoing a ritual cleansing, wearing only the prescribed attire. I must also refrain from sexual acts, swearing, and arrogant or rude thoughts. Well, since you you gain this much stress because you are calm, impatient, and cynical. You are all these things that doesn't make a good Muslim. But still, that calm trait with the stress loss of +10, and also the good flute music you've been hearing, which it's about to expire this month, so excellent timing. And life reaffirmed, so I will commit to it with the utmost dedication, even if it's against my very nature. Gotta train your best fighters, including some of Sogdian origin. Onward. When the time comes, my agents will need a safe escape route out of the Extranet Faramar's castle should anything good go wrong. A detailed map of the local drylands, of all its hidden paths and caves, would be an invaluable resource. %60 chance I map out the surrounding area. We'll pay a small amount of money to Papak Hushan, who's wandering in the area. And then we'll have map surroundings. So he will either be discreet about it, or he will brag about his newly acquired wealth. In which, for that secrecy would be not so secretive. He is a master hunter. Oh, pay the hunter from Tripoli to draw a map. Oh, you... Now he's a tattletale. So there's a little bit of progress now. Now, meanwhile, after my long journey as I arrive at Mecca, ready to complete the Hajj, I walked 7 times around the Kaaba, touching the black stone on each circuit. I prayed at the place of Abraham, drank water from the Zamzam well, walked between the Safa and Marwa 7 times, and sacrificed to Allah. The next rite I must complete is to cut my hair. Traditionally, men shave all of it, but this position is occasionally granted to cut off only part. Women are restricted to just... Despite me being a cynic, but might lower the tracked opinion a bit for the next 5 months. It's not that big of a deal. Just shave all of it off. Even though I have short hair anyway. Had short hair. The end of this year's Hajj draws near. After 2 days of Rami al-Jamarat, or the stoning of the devil, I'm ready to complete the final ritual of Tawaf al-Wada and say farewell to Mecca. Was that it? Because he said that because he's cynical. But you're going to gain all that piety nonetheless. Those are just words. Now, earlier I mentioned stupid idea. What stupid idea are you talking about? Oh, I'll tell you what I'm going to be talking about, as I am known to the dedication of this faith. You know that religion over there? Quranism? The one that has equality, which of course we view them as hostile. Though you can't usurp their titles, nor you could revoke them for reasons. Because they haven't done anything wrong to you. It's shunned, but not criminal. I could have sworn I thought it was accepted the last time I checked on Quranism. I must be thinking of some other different faith. But still, the point is, equal enables those laws. I mean, look, I could convert that faith right now, and none of these Sogdians, Sogdian friends of mine and family will not mind because of religion blending. The other thing, the other part of this cell said, stupid idea, is why don't we diverge our culture? But the problem is, your culture is not present in at least one county in the realm, which I thought about introducing the Sogdian culture over here. But you need some prestige for this, and it says, yeah, you don't have all these equality. But I do remember seeing a Mazdaki one time, in some other playthrough, a Mazdaki ruler, who diverged his culture and actually made it equal, instead of men only regarding martial custom. So, I thought about this idea in the future where we're convert to Quranism, use that to diverge that culture, just to change the martial custom. Yeah. That's my idea on that. So, there's no better stewards out here, and you're going to be around for a while longer. And we know we'll never accept the culture of the Berbers here, so let's just promote the culture. It'll take 9 years. So, it's a start. Now we'll start raising a little bit of money to at least 50. And then we will fight against our brother if the plot to murder fails. The journey's been a long one. I've finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the Imams and Ulamas treat me. I've undergone a journey of holy men, and they insist that it has changed something about me, whether I can see myself or not. See too if you can find a secret over. Oh, it'll take a year. Okay, but how long is the plot till? 2 years. Because we need to get at least one agent in. If there's any secret in the court. Cousin got in prison over in Kermanshah. That's way over there. Oh, by the way, due to our long range, we do have contact as far as there. Too far. Even if I were to move to Alexandria, it'll still be too far away to have any contact with Trans-Saharan with this X-shit. Oh, that's how you say X-shit. Then, I thought this is X-shit, but it's Xrani. I've been pronouncing that slightly wrong, actually, in the Sogdian language, so yeah, my Sogdian is a bit rusty. He got lost. Oh great, he's gonna die soon. That means a 12-year-old's gonna be ruling. And if he doesn't turn 16 by then, so he won't by then. Not saying it's death related. No, calm down, will ya? Great Sogdian warrior. All that glitters. My spy master Haramel approaches me with a wicked grin. My lord, this pouch contains a powder most nefarious. Whispering on top something, say a gift for Fatimaz. Excuse me. I mean, bless, or whatever is the equivalent in this part of the world. Anyways, the powder most nefarious, spring on top something. It leaves no trace of it, but will affect whoever touches it with weakness and ill humors. You have no gold of mine. No need to rush the plot. I could rush it, but I would have to be stressful. But I'm a calm, mild-mannered person. Aha! See, it worked. The swaying made him join the plot. There we go. Alright. We convinced him to join. So, I think we should keep at it, just to make sure he doesn't leave. Now, all we need is to find a secret in the court, blackmail that person for a hook to get him to join. Praise Allah, got me a son who is Herculean. And all these Sogdian names I recognize. Oh, wait a minute, I like that name I just saw. And it's kind of historically. Gurak. Naming after this great king of Samarkand during the Umayyad Turgesh Wars. So you will be Gurak. So, yes, my uncle Akbar is proven surviving capable, especially in academic matters. There are some projects I'd like to undertake in Tobruk. Be a blessing, of course. Hey. I don't like you, Uncle, because you know one day you're gonna rebel against me and we're gonna fight. You have decided to go to war for an artifact? What? Are you insane? Unless you're bringing allies. And it's a lot. And he's got a lot of allies too. Oh man, it's a massive war. But, anyways, yes, it was here in Samarkand that there was a king of Samarkand by the name of Gurak. Yeah, Gurak, who played a bit of the both sides. Like, he was loyal to the Umayyads while still being oriented to Sogdiana. So he was a savvy Sogdian ruler in his day. And I envisioned that my son, Gurak, would be. Now you escalated this war. Jafar's in rebellion. And now they're in its way. It's a tyranny war. It's a good thing I'm getting rid of him if we can. Well, for me, Zeus, my master. He covered his secret held by my brother and friend. Of all manner of vile things, he satisfies hunger of human flesh, contributing more sickening and deranged. All foul humanity, we never cease to discuss. I'm friends with a cannibal! You know about cannibalism, right? Because, you know, that's considered criminal, is it not? Where in Islamic law says anything about cannibalism? That's the real question. Plus, another reason why to murder him. And this will turn the people against him, and maybe more potential agents will join in order to get rid of him. So I can inherit that title. No blackmail here. You, sir, are a cannibal. Look at it. Hey, Sultan, arrest this man. He's a cannibal. He eats people. And the Sunni opinion goes down -30. And now we call him the cannibal. But I don't think he'll arrest him right now because he's kind of busy. Why am I friends of a cannibal? Does anybody else want to join the plot? Huh? Spy master, yes. We'll sway you. Every little bit helps. You know what? That's all we need to know. Come here. It'll be done in a year's time. Wow. Good thing we found out that he's a cannibal. Cannot believe I'm gonna kill my brother and friend. But I'm only doing this for the money. Fame. Power. It's a big war. But they're fighting for an artifact, not land. War declared on Liege. A tyranny war. And 4 days ago, when did his rule begin? Four days ago, war declared. Yesterday, Jalal al-Din is now the new Sultan. And this will further complicate matters. Because he lost his... No, you dummy. Actually, the artifact war is over, because that was a claimant war. And now there's a tyranny war. But don't you worry. We'll get rid of him for you. So they try to arrest him because he was a cannibal. And because of who he is deceitful, gluttonous, and callous, he says no! And he rebelled. I was hoping he would be arrested and be brought to justice. So now there's two tyranny. But we'll get rid of him. Steward, thank you very much. That means more wealth for me. And it helps me with the stewardship experience. That's what I want. Thank you. Actually, it's going to be over before you know it. I was looking for agents originally. Then we decided, hey, we found out that he's a cannibal. It's like, excellent, that means they'll turn against him. And already fighting a tyranny war also helps. So I feel happy about that. So says you. Three months, 2 months. And he's got one more month after that siege is finished. Defensive measures. Oh, crud! We almost had it! Quick! Get the agents. Salvage this. There. Spy message in. We try to sway it, but that was a fail-safe procedure, one would think. It's like, crud, plot's exposed. He won the tyranny war. So now he knows there is a plot. But he will not know that it was I. So he has revoked that title, so that means I get both. Alright, this is excellent timing. My agents have scheduled a journey for Father Maz, which will take them through the dark woods. All that is missing is a band of thugs that will tragically send him in a highway robbery gone wrong. By woods, you mean all those palm trees. The dark palm trees of Tripolitania. Oh, the woods can be such a dangerous place. There is no way you can screw that up, because I can already imagine blood seeping into the dark soil. So, how do you schedule a journey to take me to the dark woods? What are we going to do? Pile up all the dead bodies that were killed in the battlefield, and then we put up a sign written in Sogdian language that says, whoa. Oh gosh. This is probably going to be a very, very inappropriate thing for me to say, because I used to joke this with my brothers and a few friends I play online, and this is taken almost way out of context. It says, yeah, we mentioned a stack of dead human bodies there, right? And then you put up a sign in Sogdian language, of course, because I mean, don't put it in Berber language, the local language, and then it'll says, have the dark woods. It says, hey, It's like there's some dead bodies or some tasty humans for a gluttonous man like him. We're not opening up a cannibal restaurant here, because if I were to run a cannibal restaurant, well, if I were to run, God dang it, I'm going off map. I used to joke that with my friends. What I was supposed to say is that it's like, hey, if you were to, if there was a commercial, a TV commercial about some cannibal restaurant, and then they would have that little jingle at the end of each commercial, right? And this is a reference to Red Robin, an actual product, an actual food product, the brand. And that little jingle, it would says, "Red Robin young, here it's dead body young." Now, stop screwing around. Alright. The dogs did their job. Father Maz is no more. As the travel party stopped to camp for the evening, bandits poured out from among the trees, calling for blood and gold. The soldiers fought back. That was not enough. He was tragically slain in a melee. Unfortunately, one of the bandits was captured and revealed that I paid him to ensure his demise. Oh no, I'm a kinslayer. You know what that means. Actually, no, you will not be arrested for this. It's shunned in Sunni Islam, it's not criminal. Don't get ahead of yourself, alright? So my only crime was trusting low-born bandits. Now I lost my level of devotion that I worked hard for from that Hajj, and, well, I'm a murderer now, which lowers general opinion, and a close family opinion, as if they already dislike me enough. Now, I better watch my back. But at least Spymaster's terrified and will never go against me, so whatever plot is out there, find it. So now I inherited Tripoli, Zuwara, and Zado. That's good. And it does not lower the control except the one that had a rebellion previously. So you better get this back under control now. But hey, this will improve the economy and a little bit of that levy size, if you can. And with the addition of the mosque here, that's more taxes. Hey, you've been good to me. Come here. I'll pay a little bit of that travel expense for you. And I inherited all of my brother's wealth. You're useful to me. Alright. But the problem is, as good as you are, but he's not intimidated of me, because he's deceitful and cynical, but rather generous. So, we're both cynical. So that's fine. So step 1 complete. Re-established the Trans-Saharan Trade, so we get more income now. Oh, actually, wait a minute. He's terrified of me. Okay, you know what? Appoint him as the new spy master. Now he can be most assured. If there's any plots against me, he'll find it. And put a stop to it. But if there's any attempted murders, then that's criminal. Is struggling in life good? Over here, two coaches having an interesting debate one day. You need to struggle a lot in life to become a better person, Macron exclaims. How can you improve if you don't learn from adversity? Even ancient philosophers said as such. No, having a fewer struggles in life would be better. Would be better for a person. Ganem counters. You say that because you live an easy life. Do you think that the average slave or servant who toils day and night will ever achieve great success? But if they do well, it's thanks to hard lessons in life. The only thing life as a constant struggle it does is to make a person feel dejected, tired, and exhausted. To be content, patient, calm, and relaxed. That is what the ancient philosophers said we should do, instead of viewing life as a constant uphill struggle. Surely, Shivanya, Khosrow agrees with me on this, right? The way I see it, struggles makes us stronger and better people. Man, a lot happened lately. That further increases the levy size now that we have it back. But does it warrant a war? As they are inferior, but they got pikemen now. Remember, fight a war for Alexandria, and all of it is yours. I mean, you wanted to go there, and I don't think it's necessary to have all of this now. I mean, you want to hold Siwa, Salom, and especially Alexandria. So. Plus, he's got enough money to hire mercenaries if he wishes. We better make a move soon. And also, as fully increase the size of all of this, so we'll definitely be ready for a war. And I think maybe we should drop that fabricate claim idea, because you know what? They can have all of these lands. I'm gonna go to Alexandria soon, while I get to keep Tripoli. And it's for economic reasons. One, Trans-Saharan trade, and end of the Silk Road trade there. Plus more development there. So I am willing to move my capital from Barca to Alexandria. And I get to be the owner of Siwa without having to fight for it, because it's a very defensible place. Because as we know, so you know what? Forget about the that whole fabricating claim thing. So I think I should go back to religious relations. My original plan was to reclaim all those territories for myself before moving on to Alexandria. But to be real honest, I think it would be better to, like, say, what happens if you were to fabricate a claim? He'll not accept it. Allied with his brothers. Oh, yes, I think we should keep fabricating the claim. So that way, I'll fabricate it, and then we'll revoke it. All the brothers will rebel, defeat the brothers, and then you united all the lands, and then we move on to Alexandria. That's your plan. And now, not in vain. A bandit cartel has been terrorizing Tripolitania for a while now, and my forces stationed there have had trouble countering them effectively. Recently, one of the guard captains there was even assassinated by a spy working for these criminals. It was meant to be a major blow to my troops, given his captain's charisma, diligence, good relations with the local community. Yet, this had the opposite effect than what the bandits intended. The assassinated commander, beloved by many, has become a martyr, Thus my troops and other local commoners, spurred on by bloodlust to avenge the captain, redoubled their efforts to crush the bandit gang. Scores of bandits have been killed in the past few weeks, including many of their leaders, and their influence is greatly reduced, perhaps permanently. There were even rumors that the spirit of the commander assisted them in the afterlife. I can't afford it. I'll just say it's bittersweet, but at least the bandits are defeated, so it's a martyred commander. A respected and beloved garrison commander was recently assassinated by a band of notorious bandits. This inspired local forces to eradicate the bandits once and for all, and they largely succeeded. So what we're gonna do, in 9 months' time, once we have Derna fabricated claim, despite his arrogant personality, meaning he will rebel against me, do that against my uncle, and then I'll send out my best commanders out in the field to defeat all of my brothers in a single. But the real question is, have they ever actually made any improvements to these lands ever since our control had left? No. But they're all allied between each other, and we will be rid of them once and for all. And then we'll use that when we get everything fully under control again. Feels like you've been around forever. Well, she'll soon be gone. And we've got to get a new seneschal. In the meantime, just make a lot of fortune. But I'm still going to import the Sogdian culture over here, which is part of the step of the possibility of diverging a culture. Which in turn will use that to have some acceptance with the Egyptian culture, because one day I would like to form a hybrid culture, and we will soon enter the Netherlands. And knowing our Sogdian culture, I mean, there is room for one tradition. If we were to ever hybridize with them, it would be called Egypto-Sogdian. So this is how I would put it. I would rather keep all of this. No need for strong believers. I would keep people to Silk Road, get the children to the Nile, and I know you can see why it's written like that, but I'll bring that up at a later time. That one's kind of tempting. But what if we include the Fatwa and the Marburism? So therefore you get Desert Warrior commander traits are more common, and Dry Terrain commanders. Which sounds good. Paracosm, the city holdings will give you a little more, but your control gain is a little slower. Religion blending, I don't think it'll have that much of a use in those parts, so again, it's like you've picked 5 out selected. So keep People's Silk Road, keep that. Caravaneers is good for diplomacy and movement. This is good for taxes, development, and levies. This is for sparring. And this is for the drylands, which actually Egypt has more floodplains, especially in the delta. Whereas this is better than my IRs. It's because they counter not only spearmen but also heavy infantry. And you would get Desert Warrior. We'll be good at this sort of thing. Think of it like the Berbers. So basically I'm kind of dotting between this or this. Be willing to dump religion blending when there's a time that we hybridize with the Egyptians. Diligent, patient, and athletic have additional bonuses, but also lowers their prowess. But the men-at-arms recruitment costs more. This is all floodplains, you know. Does this supply element? I don't know. I can't decide. But again, this is just far in the future reference, alright? Now, we spend this amount of gold. And be prepared, because we will be rid of your uncles and your cousins and such. Okay, so here's what we understand here. I do have a claim to this title, allowing me to revoke without being viewed as a tyrant. He will definitely rebel, because he dislikes me big time now. He's gonna bring his two brothers over here. We will defeat them, and we will win. So bring up all armies en masse. Glad you're still with us, because we still need you. I'm in no condition to be fighting as such. So be careful. Banda will try to attack you very aggressively, but you can negate that. And plus, you are the master of the desert, not he. Oh, Hamunat, you've been such a good woman to the realm for a long time. And is no longer my seneschal, but I think control is going to be the least of our concerns. Yep, that's all three of them. Peace be with you, he says. It seems there is no recourse for our dispute other than settle on the battlefield. See, inferior. And we will win. We will reunite the lands, and we will deal with the enemy. I'm sure they'll all be headed to Barca. We won't catch them, but hold here. Let them go where they want to go. Actually, they're gonna get together all to Tobruk, but no, they're gonna get away. Begin the siege. Just take the area. As soon as you take the target capital, you will win. You got more siege weapons than usual. No one will oppose you. You'll manage. Thank you. Again, we got about 5 years till Sogdian culture is spread to here. It makes it look like it's a colony or a home of Sogdian exiles, but nobody's being exiled because there is a proper Sogdian ruler out there back in Trans-Saharan. Just like other children his age, my son and heir Gurak sometimes lies and tests boundaries. However, he often avoids suspicion with his sweet demeanor, and people always forgive him when he does get caught. I wonder just how much he gets away with. He is charming. Alright. Just take the bloody objective and you'll win the war. That's, it's one of the heirs, so that means it's important. Been pregnant 8 months. Oh, she's about to give birth. So they're heading to there. So we'll follow them. It'll take us 2 months. Because we said we're going to meet on the battlefield, and by God, we're going to kill. Oh no. That's our most talented commander. Oh yeah, he's my Chancellor. Switch places. Can't control that area anymore. It's being sieged. There's more advantage in the desert, so I will go for the Berber. Which again, he knows the country, he knows the land. Born in prison. So, he is comely. Momar. House arrest, right? Prisoner of war. Well, I'll be willing to give it to you for a price. I mean, he's not the heir of anything right now. Hey, wait a minute. You know, it's the captured heir part was 10%, and due to the birth of the child, it actually increased a bit. Either that or am I crazy? But I'll be willing to give her away for a price. So he'll pay 10 gold. And of course, they said it's one of his heirs. It's actually him who is the heir. Yeah. You're not gonna get away from us. In fact, they will. Recently disembarked. Yeah, I know. Okay, so be there in 10 days. Recently disembarked 15 days. Halt! He died of old age. The new Mufti is Abdul Hassan from Persia. Now it's time to sway him. He'll have to endorse me. Or it doesn't really matter because I'm... No. Lay clergy, secular rulers can get all of this. He's just a mufti, not, you know, not a court champion or whatever. It's habitual, I know. 8 days, recently disembarked. Battle begins in 12 days. So it should be good. And terrain to be fighting is drylands. This is his. Patricia taking this lowered. He is a novice hunter, a brilliant strategist. Again, I am confident in his ability to defeat the enemy. There, now it says we'll probably win. And the advantage goes to him. Fortunately, we're countering against him, but they got a lot more to the fights. Killed one of them. All you need is defeat him in a pitched battle, and there you have it. You are all going to be in prison, and your titles are lost. Belly's vassal. Known criminal. Rebelled. They all joined. So therefore... It's gonna take a long while to get all of this back up. There, we united them all. Now there will be no pretenders around here. And we'll soon set our eyes towards Alexandria. Eight frickin' years. Go for the next best thing if he ain't gonna be around for long. Actually, let's see. Any of you good with stewardship? No. Well, you're gonna have to all pay up and leave. Because money is a valuable commodity around here. So it's just all of you leave. There'll be no kinslaying around here. Hey, it's not your fault. You know what? Instead, come here. Into intrigue, huh? And good at it. We'll find you a guardian. That's into this sort of thing, not I. This one. Oh. I'll deal with it. Chafing control, that's a... Oof. Oh dear. Organized muster rolls. Well, my liege has come of age. Sultan, must I pay you tribute now? This time, it's for gold again. Nearly all of my wealth. This is for the renown. Servants usher me to Sultan Jalaluddin's great hall in Mut, where he sits in his throne and waited to hear my pledge. I kneel at the feet of my lord and pledge many oaths of homage, as the scribes record the event. My attendants then follow, presenting my rich gifts to the Sultan before the assembled court. Jalaluddin bids me to arise, confirms his satisfaction along with my rights to lands I rule in this stead. Christ of fealty. Hey, maybe when I raise a little bit of money, I'll be sure to send you a gift of some of my finest entertainers. Two dukes, which is me, the undisputed ruler. Actually, no, his opinion's too low. You know, prestige is the name of the game, right? What if? No, because Doesn't like cynicism. I understand homosexuality is taboo because it's criminal. And a bit of the distance. But I guess there's no chance of that happening for a homosexual romance. Which I wasn't going to plan on making it my soulmate. I wasn't planning on that at all. No. It's just do a little successful, gain prestige, and then you're good. But at least now that you hold more lands, that means more levies for you. As you will attempt to restore control very slowly but surely, so this is why I want to get out of here as soon as possible. In fact, 20. Maybe I should recruit some courtiers in here. It's like, okay, do either of you have good stewardship? Because we are in need of a seneschal. That is my priority. My glory is widely known, distinguished. Just adds a little bit more to the secular opinion. And I believe it's high time to go raiding soon. Because knowing you're about to spend some money on two things. So again, we urge if there's anyone who has good stewardship. Either of you. 11. 16. Oh, okay, we found one. Found the right person for the job. And is good, so that's 0.4. Like it. Now next time, save your money for a court physician. Or in this case, begin raiding all the loot to these lands, and I don't think we should have any problems. They call him the child killer. Huge war over there. And where's their forces now? Way over there. I've always wanted to raid Aglabid territory, but you know what? Start from there. There's a lot of wealth over there that's never been disturbed. All we need is an expert raider. And it's him. Though he's an old man and not expected to live long as he's gout-ridden. We need more reavers. So this is here to start. So off you go. Their massive army is all the way over there. So you'll be alright. Poison. Nazila was telling me something while talking to points. Look. In other words, she was trying to say things while having a physically perfect pose in order to emphasize her statements. Listen, I only hired you here just to do your job. So I will say your poses are moronic and lacking in effectiveness. I say that because I have diplomacy. As far back as the days of the ancient Greeks and Romans, skilled orators have often trained themselves to accompany her speech with specific and deliberate hand gestures. Though evidence is scanty, the further back in time we go. The formal term for gesticulation is a rhetorical technique called chironomia. Or is it? Okay. Some of my counselors believe that job is theirs by right of blood or influence alone. How wrong they are. I expect the results, yet I'm often disappointed. After a long day, I'm complaining to Otava, and she interrupts me. Let me do something about her husband. A few lessons might sharpen their wits. Particularly you. Give a few lessons to my steward, Akur Maztak. Which, of course, that sounds like a Sogdian name for Ahura Mazda, now that I think about it. So increase his stewardship just to increase the speed of promoting their culture. Keep an eye on that. You know, tell you what, well, let's just try to snake our way to there. So you're right there, then you're right there, then to there, and then you're there. And once you reach the capital, turn around and go. We captured a guest. Any good? 14 years old. Stewardship education. Well, it's a prisoner of war, so you can't go to it, so... Anybody want? Might use that hook to invite the courts. If she gets a really good stewardship education, then we'll let you go, then we'll maybe bring you in. After all, she's a guest. Alhama is next. Then El Jim next. And then we'll get to Rakada. And then we finally get to Al-Kiran. They just turned around on their war score and must have won a big battle over there. Numismatic fun. A couple of weeks ago, one of my servants was doing some gardening around my residence. While digging around, she unearthed a strange gold coin, one she did not recognize. Curious, she took it to some local scholars in town who determined it to be of great antiquity. Having learned this, she dutifully presented the coin to me, saying that such an item rightfully belongs to me, since it was found on my property. The coin isn't large or remarkable enough to put it on display, not to mention it is extremely worn out, so one can barely make the art or writing on it. However, perhaps I could keep it around as a charm, or for just my own amusement. Well, it's a cluttered artifact, so... You know what, I'll keep that for myself. I mean, this coin, perhaps it's centuries old, if not more, is so worn out that one could barely make out its features. Still, it's a neat using curiosity will certainly serve as a great conversation starter for its own. Sure, it looks nice. Thank you. I'll keep that. It's a cluttered artifact. But after all, gold coins like these in the area that I live in, it was once held by ancient Greeks and then later Romans, so we have to assume it's a Greco-Roman coin of sorts. Touched by Allah. There's a town not far from here that has a lovely large garden which I'd like to visit on occasion to enjoy the scenery. Today, while there, I see a woman talking to herself. Curious, I approach her, and she introduces herself. Her gaze oddly drifts off to nowhere in particular. She says, "What are all those strange creatures in the garden? Where are all the white birds?" I have no idea what she's rambling about. Suddenly, another woman hurries over and bows deeply. "Apologies, my lord," she says. "This is my friend. I look after her. She's been a little strange for years. Touched by Allah, they say. They say she hears voices. All the people who lived and died here for thousands of years, maybe they left ghosts behind." You know, I used to be faithful, then I killed my brother. But I'll just say, of course, please, by all means, do what you need to do. You'll gain stress no matter what. Oh, and this ancient gold coin? It'll never deteriorate of its condition. Excellent. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up before the war ends over there. But he's still got to bring his army back to deal with populist revolt. Alright, paydays are coming. There's 31 there, 25, 47. Yes, Tunis. The home of the old ancient Carthage, but also it's the home of the Al-Zadunya Mosque, so now that's really tempting as well. We're gonna have to come back eventually. He's been deep into the depth in a while. There's a lot of people in this court, and we know that he can't pay them. He can't pay the ransom, so the supposed forces of Shaitan. In the past few months, a town in Tripolitania suffered from quite a scare. Townspeople heard strange, inhuman sounds at night and feared Shaitan was up to something. Prayers were offered, nightly patrols were increased, and so on. However, by chance, it has eventually discovered that the source of all this ruckus were several crafty youths who, with nothing better to do, pranked the town at everyone else's expense. The boys are under arrest, and the fate is now in my hands. Let me see. I could care less about the development over there. But I'll be willing to spend prestige. I'll just say, no harm done. Let him go. For months, a band of reckless, bored youths played a prank on their town, pretending to be the voices of demonic forces. They have thankfully been caught, but the rumors since it does not reflect on the inhabitants of this area. Here comes the money. And we just captured another guest of all people. Is she any good? No. And also definitely not attracted to men. You sure nobody wants her? Okay, but I'll let her go off the hook. Without a hook, I should say. In there, of Susa. Not to be confused with Susa in Iran. Okay. So we'll raid one last place, and then we'll go home, because it's getting full. But still, good raiding. I'm glad that the war happened over there. It's full now, so let's go home. Thank you for your service. We're rich. Can't get us this time. I'm sure it's kind of interesting regarding the background music you people are hearing right now. That's clearly Chinese music, and yet you're playing it all the heck way over in Libya. That's because of the Sogdian culture, due to the Silk Road part and all of this. That's the reason why you're hearing this music right now. But anyways, now, what's our next? Yes, Alexandria. He's got allies. One is another in Tikrit, which is all the heck way over there. But I think it matters little, as he is involved in a war. And this one, he is, yeah, he's involved in a war. So that means there's little chance for him to defend himself. So things will be going well for us. 37 years old, still in the prime of my life. And I have my son Gurak, who is going to be, it's going to be a long-lived character, no doubt. So just wait until the men-at-arms are filled. And then we'll begin our Alexandrian offensive. Yes. And don't spend that money on anything right now. And I'll give you the reasons why. Crud. Somebody already hired them. Well, who's using them? Syrakuzai. I mean, there's no way to check on who's under contract, right? Yeah, there's no way to check it because I was thinking about possibly hiring them in case there's a bit of issues. Yeah, we had a diplomatic incident the other day. Unless we want to find somebody within the realm. Like them over there. Or how about you? Either one. Because I do have a daughter. For an alliance. You know, just in case. If the Alexandrians try to outwit us. And then we'll call you in to help us out. You always gotta have a plan B for this. So your starting point will be in Tobruk. So we will begin our Western Desert campaign as soon as the alliance is made. Now, right, let's begin. And remember, you will gain all of these territories. And yes, I am aware that it is too much for the domain, but I might be willing to give some away. Particularly D Street that we recaptured, but we only used that just to increase the levy size for our advance to there. And then once we take it all over, and then we'll just use the development of land to make up for holding all of these territories. I'll keep Barca, I'll keep Tripoli, Jafara, and the mosque. But there might be some mosques over there that I would like to hold personally because of development and all that. But we'll have a more look at it after the war and as well as the beginning of the next episode. So let's go for it. You'll do. Because whatever defensive battles we fight in, well, they will not have that advantage. Don't be afraid. They'll have to take it to the sea. It's a long way, you know. Are they going to Barca? Yes, they are. At least we have the bit of defensive measures, so that will take time as they do not have Egyptian ban of Aswan. Of course they would have hired mercenaries. It's not much, but still. Of course they would. But how much time is the real question. Because we have siege weapons, they do not. They do not have siege weapons. So let's hope for good luck, alright? They have mud brick towers, so they already had defenses over there. And they do have defenses in over there as well. The main objective. As soon as this falls, start moving. Might as well, because when we get to Alexandria, we should begin construction of some buildings over there. When that area is going to become my new home. Okay, 4 plus 4, and if you were to reset the perks now, you will become an architect soon after. Because as much as it's nice to have all of this regarding administration, I think being an architect would be good. So that way you could put your focus on Alexandria and the construction of it thereof. Alright, we've taken the objective. Now let's head back. It'll take about 4 months to get there. And about 6. Try to scare them off. Again, we don't have an organizer. Wish we would. Starosta. Oh yeah, the Russians the Russian community that lives there. I forgot about those. Yeah, go ahead. She'll be there. I got plenty of money. Yep, they're on the run now. fight them out on the battlefield now. No defensive advantage for you. Unfortunately, they have a little more advantage. Oh gosh. Desert Warrior. Captain Bashir. I should have looked him up a little more. Gallant too. But we have the numbers. Firoz was one of the Faris. He was gout-ridden. Okay, we won that battle. Now shall we head straight for the real objective of the war? And let's recover here first before we make further advances. I need a physician, and I need these as well. We should have bought them in, so that way we can have commanders who know better. Eek. Okay. Let's see. Oh, both of you are ill. Well, here's one who is not ill. But, however, is an expert, a wise woman, who's an Armenian, oddly enough. I don't know, because alternate medicine, well, cheaper, but it'll cost you some piety for this. But then again, I'm not the most pious man as I used to, but you gotta try something for a change. Oh, Bota. Come here. We just drove them back to sea. We should set sail from Alexandria. And that man that we just brought here. Link up. Should have used the Desert Warrior, or we could say two could play that game. Heading back to sea. Stop, stop. Let him go where he wants to go, and we'll defeat him out on the battlefield again. We still need to take that objective. Again, this is like the Western Desert Campaign of the Second World War. Okay, where is he going this time? He's going far. Should we take a risk? What if he's just going to that sea zone and he's going to make an alternate path to Benghazi? What if he does that? Don't leave shore yet. The ship is pointing that way, so they're going to land there. That's awful risky of you. So let's meet him down there then. And I want to go to the open desert. To Benghazi. Okay. So they're likely going to go up to Bark before we even meet them out in Benghazi. Okay, we'll meet him in Benghazi. But now you're fighting on his backyard. Because he's a desert warrior. We killed one of theirs. The mercenaries ain't gonna stop us now. Now we should begin to set sail for Alexandria. We'll be fully reinforced by then, since we're still in friendly territory. And before you leave shore, in fact, when is your projected around is 18 days? Because I was about to say, bring him with you. Because he is a legendary blade master for a man of his young age. Actually, there's an enemy army present. That's why we can't raise it at the moment. Well, in this, just, you know what? You're gonna have to march all the way over there. We're gonna make you walk, Thomas. Sorry about this, but it's inconvenient. So begin your long, arduous march to Alexandria, the goal of the war. Feels like we're in pursuit. Stop! Stop walking! Well, he's his own commander, alright? So, he's like, oh boy, they're coming down here. The Allied army is only out there. Get out of there! Actually, no. They're going down the Siwa oasis. Ah, of course. The defendable Siwa. You know what that means, right? It's just gonna be our way of saying, we have you surrounded. Don't move. Make them run. Get to reunite with your comrades. Not reunite. Alright, let's see what you got, Desert Fox. They're going to be heading to Siwa to make their last stand. And we shall meet them. Because they have nowhere to run. That'll take them an eternity and a half. And with the attrition go down, it's not going to make any difference. Sartosht, the holy warrior. Despite the fact he was named after Prophet Zoroaster. But that is so long ago. So he needs to come down here too. Meet up in Tobruk. I need you to be stationed here. Out of them. Got him. It's almost capped at the battles, but if we decide to siege here in Siwa, it's going to take a much longer time. So this is why Alexandria is much preferable. Less fort level than in Siwa. So we're coming up. But remember, he's a Sogdian combatant, a legendary blade master. Wound a Sogdian warrior, and he'll still keep coming at you. He ain't gonna stop. Ready? Move. March to Alexandria and complete the Western Desert Campaign. Bypass the area where near modern-day El Alamein would be located. That didn't last long. So it'll be 6 months now, and then we will win. There's a lot of loot in there. Especially that they made a jeweler's workshop investment there. Avarice is part of the Silk Road. Yeah, all the good stuff. Bring whatever allies you have, it ain't gonna make much of a difference. You know that guy from the Delta. At least he doesn't have any claims that relates to Alexandria. And we have finally introduced the Sogdian culture into Barca. Finally. We got you now. So here's the deal. 60 plus 35 is 95. But you captured a war leader. He's still gonna have a residence, but that's a lot of money. I can't deny it, but we just want to end this right now. So, all of this is now mine. And may wisdom ever elude you. You are much greater than imagined. In order to put it into this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. Alright. I'm really happy with this. And with this last act, so again, you can diverge the culture now. Which of course it'll cost you a few things, such as prestige, but no culture pillars changed, but we will soon see. So now you've got Alexandria, and I will figure out to distribute the lands. Like, I would be willing to keep all of this for myself. So now it's called Alexandria because there's no Sogdian equivalent name to that. So we'll just call it by its neutral name as it is called in modern day. But their culture is Egyptian, so we're in their territory now. And so now you're the owner of a trade post that's related to Trans-Saharan, and another in Alexandria, though it's blocked at the moment due to warfare, but give it time, and then we're in business. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the end of this episode. In the next episode, Alexandria will be my new capital. It's going to be my permanent residence because of the high development there. All that and more. And such. So, we'll see you in the next episode. But until then, So long for now.